Recorded Books presents an unabridged recording of Deviant Ways by Chris Mooney, narrated by Richard Ferrone. This work is copyrighted 2000 by Chris Mooney. This recording is copyrighted 2001 by Recorded Books. A master killer, calling himself the Sandman, is out for revenge. He's slaughtering not just one person at a time, but whole families and whole neighborhoods, unleashing devastating explosions nationwide and watching the horror unfold on a sophisticated network of surveillance cameras. Now a former FBI profiler, Jack Casey is thrown back into the harrowing world of psychopath hunting where the Sandman is waiting for him. And now, Deviant Ways.
July 4th. 1. Larry Roth couldn't see. Panic began to grip him, but then he realized what was going on and relaxed. There was no need to be alarmed. This temporary setback in sensation was one of those hallucinations conjured up by Mr. Jack Daniels, his intimate friend, savior, prophet, and confidant for the past 30 years. True to form, his old buddy had left graveyards of dark shadows in the corners of his mind where there should have been thoughts and memories. And this time, J.D. had also managed to sever the connection between his brain and body. Not only couldn't he see, he couldn't move. That would change, though. Soon the generator would kick back on and his body would twitch to life with a shudder of icy coldness. Control over his movements would be rationed back to him in spoonfuls of nausea, chills, and uncontrollable shaking. While his trembling hands gripped the toilet bowl in a spell of dry heaving, he would stare into the water and suddenly, like the rows of lights being turned on one by one inside a musty gymnasium, fragmented memories and thoughts would show themselves, and he would be forced to consider his most recent actions. Lately, the results were frightening. He breathed through his nose, a deep, slow draw of air, and focused on that. A moment later, the cobwebs cleared, and he felt his skin dampen with sweat. Soon it was running down his forehead and across his scalp in long, hot beads. More breathing. It felt as if he was lying on his back, but he couldn't be sure. Why would I be lying on my back? He wondered. He always made a point of passing out on his side, even his stomach. He had read too many stories of people who had choked on their own vomit. There was a strange tightness over his ears, eyes, and mouth. He thought about that for a moment. Then, like the sun breaking through a thick layer of clouds, he saw a burnt image float up to the singed edges of his consciousness, flash, and then disappear again behind the clouds. Something to do with Ashley, the club. Yes, the club, right. It had to do with Ashley. This evening's plans. He thought about it for a moment, but nothing came to him. Then he waited for the image to reappear. Waited. Nothing. He didn't fight it. He had resigned himself to this condition a long time ago and knew it was best to sit tight and wait for the connections to bubble to the surface. His throat was working now. He tried to swallow, but his mouth was as dry as newspaper. More breathing. From his pitch-black prison, he could hear the distant sound of crashing waves. The beach. He was near the beach. Okay, good. Behind it, he could hear the chatter of people talking and laughing, some close, some distant. He focused on these voices, trying to place them with faces, but they were
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.